Streaking off on another adventure, AntMan points out to the Wasp the location of a local army ordnance plant. Inside the plant we meet Alex Gentry, a scientist who works for the ordnance plant. Having designed combat armor based on the quills of a porcupine, he has become frustrated with the lack of recognition and pay that he receives from the military for his inventions. Seeking fortune, he decides to use his porcupine armor to rob a new bank that has opened that has been boasting a burglar-proof safe in the newspapers. The next day, AntMan and Wasp, in their civilian guises of Henry Pym and Janet Van Dyne, visit the bank to see a demonstration of the bank vault. Pym notices that Janet is coming down with a cold and tries to talk her into going home, which she refuses. Just then, Gentry, in his combat armor and calling himself the Porcupine, arrives and uses his liquid cement quills to disarm the guards and then fills the room with sleeping gas. As Pym tries to drag Janet out of the sleeping gas, the Porcupine uses a built-in acetylene torch to burn through the vault. While our two heroes seek refuge and fresh air in one of the bank's offices, the Porcupine manages to steal the bank's money and uses his jetpack to escape. Donning their guises of AntMan and the Wasp, the two heroes find that they are too late. When the Wasp starts to get really dizzy, AntMan takes her home and confines her to a bed, telling her not to leave it until she gets better. Meanwhile, the Porcupine robs another bank, which allows AntMan's spy ants to track his movements. Learning that the Porcupine is hiding out at the military ordnance plant, AntMan travels there alone to confront his foe. Getting into Gentry's lab, AntMan is easily taken down by the traps that the Porcupine had set up for him. Removing AntMan's control helmet, the Porcupine leaves AntMan to drown in a filled bathtub while he commits another crime. Worrying about Pym, Janet learns where AntMan had gone from the ants and resumes her guise of the Wasp to rescue him. The two devise a trap using one of the Porcupine's own gimmicks, liquid cement. Taking a bunch of containers of the compound and putting them in bags, the two heroes wait for the villain to return. When the Porcupine finally arrives, they have their ants squeeze the bags, shooting jets of liquid cement that coats the Porcupine's quills with the glue, rendering his offensive capabilities useless. Finding himself overwhelmed by AntMan's human-sized strength, the Porcupine manages to escape via his jetpack, which wasn't affected by the glue. Taking the visibly distraught Wasp home, she was afraid that he would have drowned. AntMan promises to have something for her when they get there, but what Janet figures might be a monetary gift of jewelry or a ring, turns out to be plain old cough medicine.